Welcome to the Miami Heat Zone podcast. I'm your host, Martel Llewellyn. Guys, we're pushing to 5,000 subscribers. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, and thank you for all the support. So today we have Amir from Team to Beat Miami Heat, and then we also have Grant from GM Sports Report. Make sure that you guys go over to their channels, hit that subscribe button, and thank you for all the support. So guys, we just got some more Jimmy Butler news. Obviously, a lot of people were saying that Shams is making all this up, and no, he's quoting Bernie Lee's name in all of this. So obviously there has to be some type of truth. In the past, every single time when Shams ever spoke about Jimmy Butler, Bernie Lee would always come out and say, yo, that's not true. Obviously, something is going on here in the background. So Grant, what do you think is going on with all these, Jimmy Butler rumors with Golden State, Houston? Trent, just join the chat. I'll drop the link in a minute. But, Grant plus Amir, what do you guys think about all this, Miami Heat news and the trades and, Bernie Lee? What do you guys think?
Look, I think coming into this season, we kind of had a good idea that this was going to happen at some point. I wasn't expecting it to happen during the best stretch of our season when we're 3-0 in our last 3 games, but I was expecting it at some point. At the end of the day, this is a business. I love Jimmy Butler. I'm against trading him personally. I know a lot of people do want to trade him and start moving towards the future. And I can see that side, and I think right now what we're looking at is, maybe Pat Riley potentially seeing that we're not going to be competitive in the East right now with how this team's set up. So it might be time to start moving towards the future. And I think what we're hearing right now is just these teams that Jimmy Butler is potentially interested in, because they reported he wants to be on a win now team. He doesn't want to just go play for Detroit like we were talking about earlier, saying like, oh, let's get the best package possible. He still wants to go to a contender. So I think that we're starting to see these teams that Jimmy is prepared, wanting to go for it, and he's being prepared for in case he wants to, get traded here by Pat Riley.
Go ahead, Amir. You're good. Go ahead.
What was the question?
What do you think about all the Jimmy Butler news? What do you mean?
It's all the same shit right now. Like, it's just noise, I think. Like, there's validity to, like, the Miami Heat, like, open to listening to potential trade offers, especially when this summer we didn't extend Jimmy. He asked for that extension. We didn't give it to him. We said, we'll wait and see. Pat said, we want you to be available, show that you could be healthy. Then we could revisit this, renegotiate. Jimmy said, I want to retire here. Money doesn't really matter. He's just saying all the right stuff. Like, there's just undertones from both sides that, we don't know where they're truly at, but Jimmy understands it's a business. He's 35 years old. He's an aging star. So, like, the outcomes are he either gets traded, he picks up his option and stays with the Miami Heat because he might not be playing as well for the entirety of the season, or he might get hurt, or he might realize his market value is not high enough where he's not going to get 52 million from another team. He might get like a 2-3 year worth 70, 80 million. So he's like, is it really worth it to get that extra 30, but get those extra years? So the other outcome would be him opting out and leaving the Miami Heat as a free agent. So we already knew that was going to happen. I just think it's early December. Not a lot is going on. They're just trying to get some attention and eyeballs and traffic to ESPN. Like, there's nothing new. Like, Jimmy hasn't demanded a trade. Spo is saying all the stuff that he has to say, that, like, we're locked in. We're on a good winning streak right now. Like, he said he was trying to, like, say that basically Tyler has been in rumors, forever, and that guy's still here, and he was the player of the week. So he's trying to say it's just noise, but it is a business. So there is smoke. We don't know if there's an actual fire yet, but it's interesting. Shams just reported on Twitter basically saying the Phoenix Suns are another team that Jimmy's interested in based on his agent, Bernie Lee. And he said he's talking to NBA circles and said that's a destination he'd be going to. And, like, of course, he's an agent. He's trying to do the best for his employee, basically, right? He wants to get that 10%. So of course he's going to be keeping a pulse on other teams, and there's going to be new teams that might come in. So I don't know.
So hold on, wait, not to cut you off. So Bernie Lee, listen, he just came out. He said, I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm a middle-aged dad, but just know it wouldn't indicate severe dislike. World, all this is fabricated. I have never, and honestly, it would help me or the position I represent to do anything that's been reported by said journalists. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people saying a lot of stuff. I mean, he's now all of a sudden just coming out. Jimmy Butler, before, he was very quick to say, oh my God, I'm going to stay in Miami. I love Miami. I'm not going anywhere. So for him to just say, I mean, which it could be trolling, but he kind of seemed a little bit more serious today. He was like, I don't know where I'm going to be at. I don't know about the trades. That's what they're saying allegedly. All I'm saying.
Martel. Yo, listen. Fuck all that. Jimmy Butler's getting traded. It's simple as that. You got Amir coming in there being the doozer. It's all the same shit.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, Doozer. I just called it out what it was. He's saying it's bullshit. I'm saying it's just December noise, ESPN trying to get clicks. Like that's literally what Bernie's saying it is.
No. It's not bull crap. You know why it's not bull crap? I would have said it's bull crap if Jimmy Butler had 3 more years on his deal and we gave him extension and this and that. Jimmy Butler is not staying in Miami. There's a reason why these reports are coming out. When does these type of reports come out ever? We keep our stuff sealed. You know why they're doing this? Because they want to gauge the trade interest. Okay, what can we get off Jimmy? We're on a 3-game win streak right now. We just beat the Cavs. We beat the Lakers. We like our team right now. Do we really need Jimmy? They don't need Jimmy. They're moving into a different field. You know why? They know they can't beat Boston. So there's no point of having Jimmy on the team, run it back this year, losing the playoffs, and now Jimmy's a free agent. Now what? We're in a worse position. Now what you do is, okay, I don't like none of the trade offers. Fine, keep Jimmy for the season. But you got to you got to see what's going on. That's what's happening. And if they like an offer, they're going to take it. Trust and believe, because at the end of the day, it's a business. Jimmy Butler, the Heat are going to be here after Jimmy Butler's long gone. That's how the organizations run. So Jimmy Butler will be traded. It could be in the offseason. It could be before trade deadline, but he will be gone. So this is the last season with Jimmy Butler. Stop being a doozer, Amir. Talking about this is the same shit. No, these teams haven't been reported. Now the Suns is getting reported, which I think that's bullcrap. They can't afford it. And they ain't giving us nothing.
What the hell's a doozer? What does a doozer even mean? What does that mean?
You're being a downer. What are we talking about? It's the same old thing. Bro, this is content. What you mean?
What do you mean? How am I being a downer? I'm saying I want Jimmy on this team still, and Grant wants him on the team still too. Like, I think it's all noise and speculation. Of course, he's most likely going to be traded, or we give him a 1-year extension or whatever if he opts into his player option for some reason. He has 3 choices. He opts out, he opts in, or he gets traded this offseason. Like that, there's like 3 choices that can happen. So how am I being a downer? Like, I understand where you're coming from because I'm not. It's a 3-game winning streak. Our offensive rating is great right now.
No, but Amir, you're not getting his point. Something changed, and something is going on in the background.
Nothing has changed. It's December, 2 months before the trade.
No. But you're not listening to what. No, think about what Trent is saying. The Miami Heat, they're very tight-lipped. That's why Shams is going off on Twitter right now. Because don't get me wrong, I know for a fact we've been hearing about this since the offseason, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Grant. We've been hearing about this stuff since the offseason. That's not smoke and mirrors. That's not a lie. That's not fabrication. Okay, I really do believe, because think about it. If Pat Riley didn't pay Jimmy last year, and he's on pace to play the same amount of games, maybe even less, why would he pay him now if we're going off of the standards that he had last year? Is that fair to say? Yes or no?
Yes, he also doesn't have to
pay. Wait, no. Yes or no, Grant?
Yeah, that's fair to say. To that point, I think that I'm trying to see this from Pat Riley's, perspective. And what I'm trying to think is what he's thinking right now is he notices, all right, we can't compete against Boston. We can't compete against the Knicks right now. We might as well start shopping him so we don't lose him for nothing like we have in the past with guys like, Strus and Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent. But this would be on a much bigger scale, obviously. Like I said, though, I was kind of expecting this coming into this season. I knew as soon as December came around, there'd be trade rumors going around because it's a guy that's on a contract year, so to speak. This happens all the time for other teams. I know we usually keep our business private, but this does happen around the league when guys are on their contract year that these rumors start flying around. But I can see both sides to this argument for sure.
Now, let me chime in real quick. Right? Personally, hey, listen, y'all gonna be like, oh, you bandwagon this and that, switch it up. All I'm gonna say is Pat Riley seen Tyler Hero coming this season. Tyler Hero's locked in. Tyler Hero looks like an all-star. Tyler Hero is one of the best guards in the league right now. Tyler Hero's averaging 24 points in the game, and he's looking like he can lead this team. You know who never averaged 24 points a game in a season? Jimmy Butler. Get him off my team, dog. And that's no shade to Jimmy.
That's the
no
stupidest
shit.
comparison. I'm sorry to cut
I'm
you
not
off.
gonna. No. Hold up. That's no shade to Jimmy. But what I'm saying, because you're not understanding, because I already knew Greg's about to say something. He's like, look, this is the Tyler Hero that we've been wanting to step up. Jimmy's not our future. Who's our future? Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo is our future. So now let's go get some assets. Let's take a slow rebuild for the 2025 year. Let's get some capital, and then let's see if we can make some moves. That's all it really is. People think trading Jimmy Butler is going to be a big rebuild. It's not going to be a big rebuild. We get a couple picks off it, we're happy with that. We get a couple young pieces off that, we're happy with that. So it's not like you brought it up. We lose pieces and don't get nothing out of it. We should have got something out of Caleb Martin. We should have got something out of these players that left our team. We never did. So this is a time where you have to capitalize, because if you don't, now you're kind of left in the dust. Yeah, your cap frees up after he's gone and his contract's done, but you want the capital, because what rules the league? Draft capital. It's not about the players. That's why a lot of people say, oh, we don't want a Tyler Hero. We don't want this. We need picks with it, and then we'll take a Tyler Hero. That's how the NBA works. We need picks. We traded a first for Terry Rozier. Now he's on our bench. You could say, oh, it's a WW trade. Either way, it's okay trade. But I'd rather have that first right now. I'm being honest. And I was the one that was like, I want Terry. The trade's like, oh, it's been mid. So it's about draft capital. But you can continue.
No, I agree with you. Sorry, I was gonna say the point you brought up, like it's not like a full rebuild. If we lose him, we're gonna suck. If we lose Jimmy Butler, I'm sorry. Like we go as far as Jimmy takes us. This team is a mediocre team. I'm sorry. Yes, we're playing really good for 3 days, but like, can it sustain? It's only 22 games into the season. So I'm not a believer because we had a good week. Like Duncan Robinson is not going to average 20 points a game for the next 7 games in a row. Like he's going to obviously go back to his averages, which are like 10 points per game. So like, yes, Trent, I agree with you that it's not a full rebuild. It's not like when the Trailblazers lost Dame to the Bucks and like all of a sudden they went from like a play-in type of team, maybe like in that 8 to 10 range, to one of the worst teams in the NBA. That's not going to happen with the Heat. We're definitely going to be in that like 8 to 10 range in the East for sure. But we still have Bam, we still have Tyler, to your point, who's playing really good. So I agree with you. Like, I can go either way. I don't theoretically want Jimmy to get traded yet, because I want to see if he can somehow be healthy. He's shooting 57% from the field, which is like the best in his career. He's looking pretty good in the games that he's been playing in so far, but I'm open to getting that draft capital, like you said, some sort of expiring contracts that we can get, and then young players. Like I think the Warriors package probably makes ultimately the most sense. It probably is one of the better fits across the 3 teams that he's mentioned. Probably has his best chance to win a championship if it's either there or Dallas, but Dallas is not going to give us a package that we want. Kuminga's like a 22-year-old young guy. We have to deal with him wanting to max, but like he's a good player to put next to Bam and Tyler. It might not be the greatest fit because he can't shoot, but still, you get a young, like up and coming player. You get 2 draft picks. You get Wiggins. You have to take Wiggins, which would suck. But his contract, I think, is expiring like in a year or two, so he doesn't have like a long-term 5-year contract. And then you maybe get a Podzemski or whatever his name is, or a Moses Moody, another younger prospect, and I'm open to it, Trent. But I agree with you. It's not a full rebuild.
Well, yeah, but are you willing to pay Kuminga that max money that he wants? That's the problem. I can't afford it. Because on paper, listen, like on paper, I don't think he's worth that max money. Why wouldn't Golden State give him that money?
I know
about it. The Warriors will pay for anything. They don't care. They'll pay the luxury tax. Stephen Curry walked in there and told them, "I need a superstar."
Martel, what it is?
Go ahead, bro.
This is actually like information from like behind the scenes that somebody told me. Like literally, I have my own source of why they're not paying him. So he's not a great locker room guy. So in the locker room, he has a lot of problems with his teammates. If you notice, he goes to he got benched for a while. They didn't want to pay him. They said, he's not a good fit with this team. But then they realized like he has a good. It's like in the middle because he has a lot of potential. He improved dramatically over the seasons, but his character is not where it's at. Like his characteristic is terrible. So him and Klay Thompson had problems before Klay Thompson left. And this is behind the sources because I know a girl that was messing with somebody on the Golden State Warriors, and he was kind of telling her, and yeah, like this is like real life stuff. So when it comes to that, it's part of the reason. You're not going to pay somebody all this money, lock him up for your future, and he's having problems with the team. it's just going to create drama. And so that's one of his main problems right now. But if he does come to Miami, you can't change somebody's mindset and character. You can't change that. You can, try to help it and stuff like that. But if you're, I don't know what to say. If you're just like an asshole in general, you're gonna always be an asshole. It doesn't matter if you have good coaching staffs around you. You're just gonna be that guy. So that's the reason why he's not getting paid. It's behind the scenes stuff because on the court, he's a solid player. He's a good player. So yeah,
what do you think about that, Grant? Like, are you gonna pay Kuminga? Like, what is the best package out there? Let's say we do trade Jimmy. Like, what is the best package out there?
So I've been saying this for like a couple months now. I think Houston's the best partner. You look at their assets; they have a lot. They're a team that's in the middle of a rebuild. It makes a lot of sense to send him over to his hometown. If I know they said that they're not willing to trade any of their young guys, but I guarantee if you put Jimmy Butler on the table, they'd be willing to give up at least one of Jabari Smith or that Thompson brother. And those guys interest me a lot more than Kuminga personally. I like Kuminga, but I like Jabari Smith's upside more a little bit personally. And I think the draft capital you get back is better from Houston personally. So I've been saying that I think Houston's the best deal, but I also do think the Warriors are the second best deal. I'm not big on the Dallas situation. So yeah.
Grant, let me ask you a question. Why do people like Jabari Smith so much?
I don't like him either.
I think he's awful. And I'm not coming for you because I do agree. I think Rockets have the young players that you can say, okay, give me a Tari Eason, give me a Cam Whitmer, give me a Jalen Green, right? But Jabari Smith specifically, I think he's trash. I don't think he's improved like he should. The dude's a top pick where he was selected, and no one talks about it. And it's crazy because usually you hear a top 3 pick, top 5 pick, you hear, damn, like he's a bust first year. It's like his third year, and he's the same player from his rookie year. He improved a little bit, but it's just like I'm not a big fan. Like, what do you see in him? What do you think he can help the Heat with?
That's fair enough to say that he hasn't had that jump, but I mean, you look at Houston. It's not like they're known for developing players, And what's a team that is known for developing players? That's us. You get him over here. He has that potential to be a stretch four. He's shown it previously before coming into the NBA. It's that ideal fit around Bam that we've kind of been looking for. But I will say Jabari Smith isn't the top one of the guys that I want. I want the Thompson brother personally. That defense jumps off the charts. I think there's a lot of raw potential there. And I do want like a Cam Whitmore, maybe, if we can throw that in there as well. Those names do jump out to me more than a Jabari Smith, but I still do like the thought of Jabari Smith a lot just because I feel like the Heat could develop him a lot.
Yeah, they're not going to give up Sengun. They're not going to give up. We don't need Jalen Green. We already have Terry Rozier and Tyler. Jalen Green's a worse version of Tyler Hero. Like he was supposed to be a better version, and he looked like he was going to become a star the last month of the NBA season last year. But he's super inefficient, kind of like how Tyler was. He's 2 years younger than Tyler, so like granted, he can improve, but he kind of fits. He's a better Jordan Poole kind of. I mean, Tyler was in the Jordan Poole kind of category, type of shot chucker. But like it wouldn't make sense unless we get rid of Terry, because then we would have Terry, Tyler, and him, these 3 guys who can't really play defense, very similar skill sets. So I think Jabari would have to be in there. He's a guy that can get you 11 points. Maybe he'll probably improve his stats on the Miami Heat because he would have a bigger role. That's the thing. They're young, but they're deep. Like Fred VanVleet has a big role. Like that pick and roll with him and Sengun is the focal point of that offense. Then you throw in Jalen Green, who's getting 17 shots per game. Like Jabari doesn't have a chance to average 16, 17, 18 points. Like he only takes like 10, 12 shots or less than that, like 10 shots a game, I think. So he's averaging 11 and 7. He's not the best. He can stretch the floor, but I don't love that piece either. But it makes sense though, adding him, getting like an Amen Thompson, getting Cam, who's not even Cam Whitmore's not even in their rotation. They're so deep. Like Reed Shepherd is barely playing. They're rookie from this year, right? So I think I like the Rockets package theoretically the best because it gives you the draft picks, but it also gives you true young players that you can actually mold and develop. Like outside of the Warriors package, like you have to throw in a Wiggins that's kind of not the best player. He's like almost 30 years old, making 30 million or so. You have to give that type of player that type of contract. I don't want to do that. So you have these rookie scale contracts, and you can take advantage of that because they have cap space. So you don't have to match the salaries. But I like Amen Thompson. He's 6'7". He's a really good defender. Jabari's fine. Cam, does that move the needle for you guys? Martell, Cam, Jabari, A-Man and let's say maybe 3 picks. Like you would probably add because they have 5 tradable first round picks. So maybe you would ask for that extra pick because they need to consolidate. They have too many young assets and they're all going to want to get paid soon. Right. So I don't know. What do you think, Martel? Is that a good enough package?
Yes, I mean, like if they're going to give us some young players in return, of course. But then also too, we do need those first round picks. I just think that like it comes down to how desperate those teams are going to be. But just real quick, because I know that we all got to go, and this is a huge conversation like on the last debate. Grant, where do you think that the Miami Heat messed up? Like does it come down to just not making trades or just injuries? Like what were some of the big mistakes of the Miami Heat during this Jimmy Butler run? Like, what do you think that they could have done better?
So, like, a lot of people like to, throw out this thing like, oh, they didn't get Jimmy help. But we all know they got the guy that he wanted. He wanted Kyle Lowry, and Kyle Lowry didn't look like a player that ever wanted to be there at any point, other than that first season where we went through that stretch of guys being injured and he kept it together. But, I mean, we went wrong in a lot of ways, slacking off on the health, not taking it serious enough. A lot of guys missing a lot of games when they probably could have been playing, I'm imagining. I feel like we got too comfortable with that underdog role. Thinking every single year we're going to be some great underdog story. I think we kind of messed up there. And yeah, I think it's just been kind of building up to this moment, That's my opinion on it anyway.
Go ahead, Amir.
I mean, we talked about this, a few days ago. I mean, the biggest thing in the Jimmy Butler build, is like not being able to get him that third star, or like Tyler Hero. We were hoping Tyler Hero would be the Tyler Hero that we have now currently, like that 24-point game scorer, and we were hoping for health, which you can't. Like that's not a part of this. That's just something you can't control. But I think in my opinion, one of the biggest misses is relying too much on the undrafted players, and obviously letting players that fit next to Bam Adebayo go. I think like Kelly Olynyk, like that was like a big piece that we lost, because after that we started putting Dedmon, Zeller, Yurt-Seven, my boy Orlando Robinson, shout out to him. Obviously we have the Fresno State connection, but like those are the types of players that we were adding to this roster. Like that was an issue too, is not finding the right big next to Bam, but also just, again, it's hard to trade for a superstar. People out here that like think it's so freaking easy, like unless like a player does demand to go to a certain team or picks a few teams and actually wants to get traded. Like we missed out on the Dame Lillard piece big time, but like missing out on KD and Mitchell and whoever else we missed out on in the last 4 or 5 years in the Jimmy build, like it's hard. Like that's also part of it. Like that sucks. We needed to add someone. This roster got stale after year 3, year 4, but it's also just really hard to acquire a superstar. Like it's not easy. It doesn't happen every single year. It happens every 3 to 4 years for a reason. So I think that's the biggest thing, honestly. Relying on the undrafted, not finding the good big next to Bam, and not getting an actual all-star next to Jimmy and Bam.
Trent, are you there? I guess not. Guys, we have 100 people in the building. Trent, go ahead.
Listen, man, forever Miami Heat. Looking forward to finishing this season. Looking forward to see what happens with Jimmy. I'm actually interested because no one asked this question, and I know we're ended. But I don't think Terry Rozier's a long-term piece. I think his contract ends and we let him walk, or maybe we put him in the trade talk. I don't know what you can get out of him. If he could stay at the 6-man role and kind of, bring up his trade value, maybe that could work out. But yeah, I think the future that we got to really rely on is Tyler, Bam, and Jaime. And I'm not adding Jovic because Jovic is done. Jovic is done for, and that's a whole nother conversation. Spo gave up on him, but I know Martel want to talk about that in other videos, and I've seen him in comments.
He sucks.
No, he sucks. But Martel, but haven't I been saying this for like?
You have been saying. Listen, you have been 100% accurate with that. I wouldn't necessarily say though he sucks. We don't even play him the right way though.
You just said he sucks.
No, he does. But I'm saying is that on
no,
top
he does.
That,
you said he does.
No. But on top of that, we do not play him the right way at all.
So it's like no, I get one.
So trade him. That's it. Trade. Like if you're not gonna play him, trade him.
A dude would. He doesn't suck like you said, but it's more just like you're not playing him right. And I always use the example. If Russ is not getting played in his right position, he's going to suck.
Yeah.
So he was terrible on the Lakers. He's playing a little bit better with the Denver Nuggets because he's getting played right. It's all about playing the right position. But I honestly think they gave up on him. I think that's it. But either way, though, I appreciate everybody that came through the stream. Appreciate you, Grant.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Guys, there's 100 people in the building. Make sure that you guys go to Trent's channel, the Miami Heat Network. Subscribe to his channel. Make sure that you go to Amir's channel, Team to Beat Miami Heat. Subscribe to his channel. We have 103 people here. Make sure that you guys go to Grant's channel, GM Sports Report. Go to their channels and hit that subscribe button, guys. We're trying to get all their subs up. Subscribe to my channel. We're pushing the 5K. We thank you for all the support. We have 104 people in the building. We appreciate this on a random night. Let's go Heat. We'll see what happens with Jimmy Butler.